Hey everybody, Amy with AJ's Vintage Designs and Fashion Toppings here, and I'm doing a quick little pumpkin project. It's that time of year. I'm going to be doing something fun using Dixie Belle's mousse, which is their metallic mousse. It's a water-based, look at that metallic, it's water-based. Usually we use it to bring out details, kind of like a gilding wax, but gilding wax is oil-based, this is water-based, and it's whipped to a foam or a moussey consistency, so it's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to paint this whole piece with it, but then I'm going to be using some patina activation sprays. Instead of patina paint, I'm going to be doing activation sprays on it to get a really cool look. I was experimenting and I did this one today and got that really cool look on this pumpkin. So I thought I would do this entire pumpkin that way. So let's go ahead and start off. First thing you need to do is you need to clean your pumpkin. I'm using a TSP based cleaner. It's called White Lightning. And I'm just gonna be cleaning the dust and debris off of this because this has been in storage since last, at the end of the season, you get these for like $1. You get them for like $1 because they're out of season, the end of the, no one's buying them anymore. So I bought a bunch of them at the end of the year. So I got them out of storage and just giving it a good clean with the White Lightning. Then you wanna make sure that you always rinse off your cleaner. So I'm gonna be taking some water and I'm just going to spray it down. I've already cleaned this before, but I'm just showing you what I would do. Spray with a little water. Grab a clean paper towel. Then wipe off any of that cleaning residue. We don't want our paint or any of our products sticking to a residue. So, wiped it off. Like I said, I actually cleaned this before because it was dirty and I wanted to make sure I at least demonstrated it for you. So now it's all clean. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and paint this whole piece with the mousse in the color amber. Mousse comes in diamond, which is silver, garnet, which is a red metallic, amber, which is what I'm using, looks like a copper, and then gold, which is their gemstone. And I find that the best patina actually happens with the amber. I had no results with the diamond, the silver, or the red. I didn't have any patina results out of those. So I do suggest using the amber. I did get a little bit of results with the gold. This is the gold right here. So it did patina, but it just took longer. So you can use the gold or the amber, but the silver and the garnet don't patina. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab my brush. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my brush. I've already stirred up my amber mousse. You wanna make sure you always stir it. And look at see, that's what I'm talking about. It's a metallic and it's water-based, which means, wonderful things. I'm just gonna put a thin coat on here, but because I'm gonna wanna do the patina process. Isn't that cool just by itself? You wanna do the patina process while the mousse is still wet. You got a fair amount of time as far as working time, but you just don't want it to dry for very long because it needs to be wet while it activates. And it's because there is some type of metal bits inside this. Look at that gorgeous. Look at that sheen. See, it looks like copper. It's called amber, but it looks like copper to me. So I'm just gonna paint it on and use very little product. You wanna put it on nice and thin. A little goes a long ways. I can have it on my brush and I can continue to brush the residual off my brush for quite a while. So you use very little. You don't want to apply this thick. It'll take a long time to dry if you apply it thick. Look at that so far. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue to get this all on here and then we'll move to the next step. Okay, so I have it all done. Check that out. It'd be cool to leave it just like this. This is the amber. Now it does take 24 hours to dry. I do recommend, especially with a piece this big and this much mousse that you're using, you can spray it with like a spray can sealer like Krylon or Rustoleum, anything with a spray, the rattle cans, we call them rattle can sealers because they have that ball in them and you shake them. You can seal this after we're all done, but don't seal it yet. We want to do this while it's wet, and let me show you. I'm gonna do some blue, and I'm just gonna let it run down. This is the activation spray that's meant for patina. It's from Dixie Belle. It's an activation spray, so I'm putting some of the blue on it. And I'm not doing a lot. I'm just, as you can see, spraying some on there. And now I'm gonna go to the green spray, because it comes in 2 different colors. So I'm gonna do the green spray now. It's gonna be really heavy towards the top, and I'm just letting it run down the sides, okay? See how it's running in all those cracks? I'm just letting it run. I can do a slight mist. I'm just gonna do a slight mist. I'm just doing it on this upper quadrant right here. This upper part right here is where I'm spraying it, and the rest is just gonna be residual from it running. Okay, so it's already starting to turn. See the lighter areas? It's already starting to turn. The blue is gonna turn to a really bright blue, and the green turns to a green. You can see the 2 colors in here. So there's some green and some blue in there. And got it all over my fingers. So let's go ahead and let this process and see how it turns out, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so my pumpkin's all processed, but I skipped a step. I don't know what I was thinking. I was in a hurry. I was excited to do this project. These are plastic pumpkins. I put mousse on the plastic pumpkin, and I applied my spray while my mousse was wet, because that's what you need for the activation. Well, my mousse didn't have time to even adhere to the plastic. So it gives you a cool effect. So I'm gonna show you anyway what the mistake looks like, because it is actually pretty cool. But I'm also gonna show you the correct way to do it, and we're gonna be doing it real quick. But here's what happens. See, that is orange. So even though the patina stayed, a lot of the mousse slipped off the pumpkin. It slipped off the pumpkin, but it gives a pretty cool look. Look at that. So here's the mousse right here. But by adding that spray and spraying it, when I was spraying it and having all that wet spray on top of wet mousse, it actually moved the mousse from the top and it slid it down. So it gives a really cool effect. So I wanted to make sure I showed you that. But what I would do normally, here's the pumpkin. Well, this is the first pumpkin I did. This is the one I was experimenting with. But I painted my pumpkin first, and my paint was completely dried, and then I added the mousse. So guess what? My mousse didn't slip. So that is why you should paint your pumpkin first. It's a pretty cool effect, not painting it first, but it will slip. So let me show you this. Okay. See how it didn't slip this time, and you can see that amber underneath? This is painting it first. I had already previously painted my pumpkin blue. So I have another pumpkin here, which I just have a little coat of fluff and pure ocean. You know, it just kind of got a base color on here. It's all covered. That way, now when I put my mousse on, my mousse has something to stick to when I spray it with the patina spray. So that was the step I missed, and that was my mistake. So let's do it on this one. Bring the camera down. Okay. So I've got my mousse, and I haven't used it for 24 hours. So I am gonna give it a quick little stir, because it's been 24 hours since I've used it. Now, the patina process with the mousse, actually with the amber, happens pretty quickly. So you'll see results within like a half hour. You're gonna start seeing it turn. Okay, so put that to the side. Got my craft brush, and I'm not adding any clear coat to my mousse. Usually I add clear coat. So this is the step I missed, putting it on a painted pumpkin. I'm gonna bring it down, and see how I'm leaving those jagged edges? I'm just pulling it. I want those jagged edges. And once again, that amber mousse is stunning. Okay. The gold does react. It takes longer, and it's not as pretty, to be honest with you. I'd stick with the amber. Okay, I'm just flicking my paintbrush at the end so I get those little wispy feathers, those little brush lines. You can use a chip brush too if you want to. Okay, so now I got my metallic pumpkin. Make sure you put your lid back on your mousse so you don't get the activation spray in it. Move your brush out of the way in case you have to touch anything up. You don't want that spray on it. So now I'm gonna do the spray again. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of the blue spray too. That was the green. And the green activates fairly quickly. You can already see it. The green activates really quick. I'm just gonna dribble on some blue and see what it does. Okay, so this is all I did. Sprayed both of them on there. Now I'm gonna let it sit in about 30 minutes. If you don't want the drips, see those little drips, take a baby wipe to it. I'm not worried about it, but you can take a baby wipe or a paper towel and just clean those up as you go. But I'm gonna let the drips happen. Okay, so now I'll come back and show you how this is gonna look when it's done, and you'll see all 3 pumpkins together, so you can give it a little bit of a comparison. Okay, let's wait and let this activate. Okay, so it's been 30 minutes, and look at it. Look at that. That patina is so cool. I'm gonna wipe up some of these drips here. They wipe off, these little drips. I'll clean those off with a baby wipe, but look at that. Now, as far as sealing these, what I'm gonna do is, this one's still a little wet. The center is, see how it's darker? It's still a little wet. I need to let it dry a little longer. It's only been 30 minutes. But what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take them out to my driveway. I'm gonna use a rattle can sealer like Krylon or Rustoleum. You know what I'm referring to, rattle can sealers. It's the can with the ball in it, and you shake it and it rattles. That's why I call them rattle can sealers. So I would seal it with the Krylon, you know, in any sheen you want. I think I'm gonna go gloss with this, or maybe not. I'll see what I have on hand. But I'm gonna spray them with a sealer so that it stops the patina process and it protects them. And then I'm gonna take pictures and put the pictures at the end, so you have to make sure that you check out the end of the video as well. And click on subscribe down below and that little bell so you're notified every time I put up a new video. I also do a lot of free painting tutorials over on my Facebook page. So if you're interested in learning how to paint furniture or crafty projects, head over to AJ's Vintage Designs on Facebook and follow me there as well. Okay, well, that's about it. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Don't forget, pictures are at the end. Love and hugs, and thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.